Hello, you guys. I am going to be doing a little bit of a vlogging video. I want to show you how I prepare for the farmer's market. So the first item I'm going to be getting together is going to be a whipped body butter. So I'm going to be using the base of my body butter that I created before in order to do this. So I'm not going to be doing a recipe from scratch at the moment. So I love using my body butter base because it's very convenient for me to be able to whip up my body butters quickly. And I'm going to zoom in and show you what the packaging looks like. So this is going to be the container that I'm going to be using. This is absolutely gorgeous. I've gotten great reviews from this container. I've done a whipped body butter in this before. People loved it. And so the packaging always catches the customer eyes. And then once they try the product, they absolutely fall in love with it. This is kind of like a pinkish purple color, but mostly pink. It's very beautiful. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how I get some of my products together for the farmer's market. At the moment, I have a few items I got to make. I like to usually make products the day before because I always just run out throughout the week with orders and things like that. So when I do the farmer's market, I have to restock up on products. So I'll show you the process of a few items I'm going to be making. Given the time frame that I got, I'm praying that I'm able to get all of this done. So I'm just going to show you what exactly it is I'm going to be doing. So the first product is going to be the whipped body butter. So here is the body butter base. I went ahead and took this. This is already a pre-made base from one of my body butter creams. It consists of shea, avocado, coconut, castor oil, olive oil, rosemary extract inside of this. So this is actually a body butter that I make and sell. I will show you what the consistency looks like. So this is very, very creamy. It's a very creamy body butter. So I decided to save over the base in order to create a whipped body butter cream. And so with this right here, with the base, all I do, and I do like to tell people this is such an easy way to make a great whipped body butter. It may be inconvenient for some, but I really love how it works. So with this, I'm going to be doing about 2 ounces of grapeseed oil. It is very good oil to use. It's very much non-greasy. So when adding a extra oil to a base, you always want to make sure that you're adding something that's going to be non-greasy. Again, this is high in ceramides. Ceramides are going to be the ingredients that you want to use because it's going to attract and keep the water inside of the skin. So your skin's going to be staying hydrated and moisturized and good and yummy. So this is going to be something you want to make sure you're putting inside of your body butter creams. So for this process, all I'm going to do is go ahead and whip up the base just a little bit. So I have this already locked in, and I'm just going to kind of stir this up just a little bit to get it kind of blended up. You always want to make sure you scrape down the edges. Of course, the butter is very soft. It's very thick. And so this is why I say it's going to need like extra oil for this base. And I don't have a ton of this base, so I am going to have to use part of my other whipped body butter cream that I have. So I am going to start adding this oil in here, just a little bit at a time to kind of get the process started. Because this is going to help whipping the air into it and getting it nice and fluffy. So this process can take anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes to do. And so that's why I like to have this leftover base. Depending on the consistency that you want your butter to be like, it can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. It takes a little bit longer for me simply because I like the butter to be a certain consistency. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be piping this into there. I don't have the good piping skills just yet. So I'm going to try to see what it is exactly what I want to do with this. And I'm going to turn it off for a quick second because I want to show you how the consistency drastically changed. I should have showed you before I continue to whip it. But it was, of course, that thick kind of butter to begin with. And the butter is really soft, but again, it's still thick. As you can see, it's already starting to want to get that whipped consistency to it. And I'm going to put this back under here because I'm guessing at this point I'm probably going to go ahead and add the extra oil to it. And I know that looks like a lot of oil, but trust and believe me when I tell you it's not going to be a greasy body butter at all. Because when picking the oils out, you want to make sure, again, oils that are non-greasy. Because just because a butter is like, you can, okay, I'm sorry. So when picking the oils, you want to make sure they're non-greasy. There are tons of great oils that are going to be good for the skin, but you definitely want to make sure you're paying attention to the absorption rate of the butter, how it absorbs into the skin. And I'm going to decide to go ahead and turn this up just a little bit more so I can show you what the consistency looks like. I might stop it at this point because the more you whip air into it, eventually it'll get soft, very, very soft, but then it can get very, very hard too. So that's another thing that you want to make sure that you're not over whipping the butter. And I really like this consistency. It's nice and whipped. I don't want to lose that butter. So it's nice and whipped and fluffy. And I do like this consistency. I just want to make sure I get this butter because all the butter must be saved, all of it. You can't let no butter go unused. So I'm going to get that off as much as possible. Like I said, I don't think this, of course, this is not going to be enough butter to fill up those jars. So this is where I'm going to add in another whipped body butter that I have. So this one is already whipped up. It's the same ingredients, but you see how I was able to scoop that out? When I let this sit for a while, in a jar, it comes out very nice and creamy. But of course, sitting in a container for a little bit of time, not like a lot of time, it's only been sitting in the container probably for a couple of weeks. I'm just going to go ahead and whip that in there. Same ingredients. It's the same exact ingredients, an unscented, pre-whipped body butter cream. Because I need to have enough butter to fill these jars. And I'm probably going to use the entire thing. I just wanted to go ahead and do a little bit at a time because my blender bowl is not that huge. And I just want to make sure all the butter is completely, has like no kind of lumps or clumps inside of it. So this is what it looks like after adding the extra whipped butter inside of there. The consistency is pretty thick because I am not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to pipe this. but I may try my best to pipe it. The reason why I stopped at this point while it's still a little bit thick is because I do have to add my custom scent inside of it. So again, that's going to be more oil. So I don't want to over whip the butter and it just be completely hard, you know, end up getting hard for too much air. So I'm going to whip together my custom scent, and then at this point I'll show you further what the butter is going to look like. So here's my custom scent right here. It's a blend of 2 oils and a vitamin E inside of it. It has like a coconut lavender type of scent to it. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. And for this process, I was thinking about kind of adding hints of gold glitter to this. So I want to just do a little bit right there to begin with, and then as the butter is continuously whipping, then I'll add more because I want to make sure it's dispersed evenly. Like I mentioned before, I don't want to over whip the butter. It's a nice thick consistency. And so I like using this spray glitter because it's not like a glitter that's going to be, oh goodness, sorry. So it's not going to be a glitter. I'm going to have to take this off in order to do this, but I'm going to show you. It's not going to be one of those glitters that kind of looks like very costumish. I hope this isn't broken because I'm having a hard time getting this glitter in here because it does it only a little bit at a time. I might go back over and spray some of this on the top. So let me get back some more lighting so you guys can kind of see this a little bit better. See how beautiful that glitter is. And I'm not sure, I might go ahead and just re-whip it a little bit more. And then after that, I'm not gonna whip it anymore because it's done. Again, like I said, don't wanna over whip the butter because then you'll make it too hard. So you see how nice and fluffy the body butter base is. Again, do not want to waste this. So this is pretty much done. I am going to go ahead and clean my jars and jar this up. So I'll show you that process because with me, I'm like filming every single thing, especially since I'm starting off doing more videos. It's really hard. I love to concentrate because when I do my work, I'm focused, but I do still want to show people the process. So I'm going to get these cleaned up and then I will show you guys exactly what the final product looks like. So yeah, unfortunately, the piping did not turn out the way I wanted it to, as you can see. So the piping bag got stuck. I didn't even use a tip to it. I had to get the butter out of the packaging because this is a lot of butter to waste. So I am not going to be able to pipe this, at least not today. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pack this inside of the containers just as normal. Okay, you guys, so it was unfortunate that I did not know how to pipe this butter in here because the piping equipment was just not working. So I just went ahead and put it inside the container as is. I did go ahead and add more gold to it. I did not mean to add that much gold. The spray bottle started to spray out too much. I'm like, what kind of a night? What kind of a night is this? First the piping gets stuck and then the spray container just wants to kind of spray as much gold as it wanted to. So I was like, okay. And then of course I have a sample size because I have to, you know, let people sample it. So what I love about the farmer's market is I get to be able to bring the products that I choose for that time frame. Most of the time I keep all the products the same. I'll interchange and switch them out periodically. This time I wanted to do more whipped butters. I am going to do this again, but I'm going to do it different because I had my heart set on trying to get this piped in, and the piping equipment just was not working. Could not get it done. So I was like, the next best thing is to just go ahead and put it in the container as is. I mean, the product is what's going to sell. So I did want to make it really beautiful, but again, I got to learn how to do this, get the piping skills up. So it's on to the next product. So unfortunately, due to time, I'm not going to be able to show myself actually doing this product. The next product is going to be a feminine foam cleanser. So this is geared towards women. It's going to be part of the bath section. So it's going to be a foam cleanser that's pH balanced. And I will show you guys at the end. I'm thinking about doing a chamomile. So it's going to be fragrance free, something, because I know that as far as bath products go, it is hard for women to kind of be able to use a lot of products. Like, I would not use like soaps or Bath and Body Works products. I do also make sure that my body washes are pH balanced as well. But this one is just strictly a foam wash for that particular area. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally was like, let me go ahead and make this. So with this, I like to do like washes, and I like to do body washes, cleansers, foam washes, because I can adjust the pH of it. With soap bars, you can't really adjust the pH of a soap bar. It's going to be more on the alkaline side. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit what this is going to look like. So I'll show you everything exactly that I have. I have some shea butter surfactants, some green tea extract, the rose water, the chamomile water, the aloe extract, some cocoa betaine surfactant, and of course the water portion. And when you're doing this, you want to use distilled water when creating your products. So I'm going to go ahead and combine all this together. The next product I'm going to be working on, now that I got the whipped butter done, some foam washes, is going to be a body serum. So I have 4 of these containers that I'm going to be using. They're a little over 3 ounces. So this is going to be designed to be a water-based body serum. So I've been wanting to do this because when people try out my face serum, like say on the palm of their hand or the outer part of their hand, they love the way it feels. So I was like, let me try to make an entire body serum that you can use as a moisturizer, maybe for those people who don't want like a lotion or a butter or a cream, something that's water-based and kind of light but adds moisture to the skin. So here is the base for the serum. I have inside of here rose water, distilled water, lavender water. I also have hyaluronic acid, sodium lactate, rice protein, and I'm going to be using glycerin, but I have to save the glycerin in order to mix the thickener in. And so right here I have the squalane oil, and then I also have the emulsifier inside of here. And I'm going to try to put some gold mica because I want this to be 24 karat gold serum. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this turns out right, or else I just messed up an entire batch of product for myself. And so far I want to show you how the water is emulsified with the mica. So I'm going to see how this little top layer ends up, but I'm still not finished with this product. But it's gold, so the mica is emulsified inside of here. I'm just kind of wondering what this top layer is going to do. I know I'm going to let the suds go down just a little bit. This is what it looks like. Okay, I'm sorry guys, you're going to have to excuse the mess. But this is how I'm able to get the portion of this part to be serum-like. So I have my xanthan gum and I use the glycerin in order to mix it up, because if you put this in pure water, it will destroy the product. Never put it in pure water. So now I'm going to add this to the 24 karat gold serum. Okay, so now here's what the 24 karat gold serum looks like. The top layer is no longer sitting on top. I do have a thickener in it, so before I pour this, of course, I got to check the pH and see how thick it gets, because I may have to add a tiny bit more thickener if it's not the consistency that I want. But yes, I was able to go ahead and add mica, which mica is an oil soluble product. But when you're adding water and oil together, you can emulsify it with a liquid emulsifier, which I used polysorbate 20 in order to get this process. So I wanted to do pink at first. I wanted to do pink mica, but I was like, I want to do the 24 karat gold. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. Okay, so here's what the final product looks like. It has a gel-like consistency to it, which I want it to be because I didn't want it to be too watery, especially for the body. But look how beautiful the mica is inside of this. I went emulsifying it with the polysorbate 20, made it stay, but of course I also have oil inside of this, just a hint of oil. So of course you're going to need to use a batch calculator when doing this, because you want to make sure that you calculate your ingredients out correctly, and it turned out really well. So I'm going to go ahead and jar these up. To quickly recap, I got some hydration serum, I have the foam cleanser, I have the body serum, and then I have some whipped body butter. So this is kind of just to put a little bit more items on my table, because if I don't, then I'll be kind of empty. I do like to do a little bit of product at a time, because I don't like to overwhelm the customer. There's no need to have like 30 of these or 40 of these or 50 of these at one time, because you can overwhelm the customer if you have too much stuff on the table, and then that can make their buying decision kind of a little bit hazy at times, because then they might be like, well, I'm unsure, so I'll come back. So it's kind of good to have the sections broken off so that you can have a little bit of face, a little bit of bath, body, lip products, just so that you don't overwhelm the customer. So far I have the containers done with these. I just went ahead and used a rhinestone sticker thing. I wasn't even going to do this, but one of the containers ended up having a little issue, and so there's some of the product where the silver is at, so that's why I went ahead and put these on there, just because to kind of hide that. I couldn't get it cleaned out, so I went ahead and did this. I do like the option, but I wasn't going to do this originally.